Hey everybody, Casey here with Life Abstract Gaming, and lately I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I just recently came back to the game after taking a long break, but before that I was pretty hooked on it. Since Destiny 2 has been announced, my interest in the game has been renewed, so I thought we could just go over some of what made Destiny 1 such an addictive game despite its problems, and also do some speculation on what we're going to get with Destiny 2. Destiny is a fantasy sci-fi first-person shooter developed by the original creators of the massive Halo franchise, Bungie. It was released on September 9th of 2014 on not only the PS4 and Xbox One, but on both previous systems, the PS3 and Xbox 360. It was also the first game in a 10-year deal with the publisher Activision. Destiny was probably the most hyped new IP of our current console generation due to the caliber of the developer and the rumored $500 million budget provided to them. So it was especially surprising when Destiny received mixed reviews, but almost unanimously the game was praised for solid shooter mechanics and movement controls, while also being panned for a bland and often confusing story, as well as an unrewarding endgame grind to get to the best content, the raids. There were a number of gripes about both the game itself and its business practices, notably the lackluster voiceover work from Game of Thrones' Peter Dinklage, who played Ghost. Certain lines were so laughably bad, they got removed from the game after players hearing them in a pre-release beta turned them into an internet meme.
That wizard came from the moon.
Peter Dinklage's voice was eventually removed from the game entirely, and was replaced by Nolan North, most famous for his voicing of Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. Activision and Bungie also entered into a timed exclusivity deal with Sony, which gave just PlayStation players extra content for a full year before Xbox players, with both sides paying the same amount of money for the game. Exclusivity deals have existed before, but this just seemed an excessive amount of time, especially since the actual game is playable on both consoles. Despite the mixed reviews, Destiny managed to sell over 500 million to retailers. That number doesn't reflect actual consumer sales or digital sales, but it's a large number on its own. As of November 2015, Destiny had over 25 million registered players. Even if the number isn't that high today, there's a good chance most of those players still have fond memories. I played Destiny from its release and suffered through that boring story grind into the endgame grind, where the spectacular raids were there to show you the potential the franchise held. Bungie luckily didn't rest on its laurels and made constant quality of life improvements and changes to how the structure of the game worked. 3 expansions later, Bungie massively overhauled how they were telling the story with the Taken King DLC. They integrated aspects of the raid gameplay into story missions and strikes, which made them more interesting to do over and over again. So the game is quantifiably better today than when it launched. With all the visible improvements to the current game, fans are at the edge of their seats to see what's coming in Destiny 2. So far there isn't a ton of info on Destiny 2. Just a teaser trailer and an official announcement trailer that doubles as a TV commercial. Bungie plans to hold a live stream on May 18th with the first gameplay shown, and there's likely to be more shown when E3 rolls around, but there are a couple of things that we do know. None of your character progress will transfer over into Destiny 2. That kinda sounds bad, but I don't think anyone who actually grinded to max level is upset about it. If Destiny 2 makes the path to high level gear and abilities more fun than it was previously, which admittedly isn't that high of a bar, then I for one am excited. The PS4 exclusivity deal remains intact for Destiny 2. I'm just really disappointed about this because it's so anti-consumer. It's not that big of a deal if you're planning to play on the PS4, but all of my regular friends play Destiny on Xbox. And I'm not jumping platforms despite the extra content, so I just get less for my money. Another thing to take note of is that the new game will be developed with only the current gen consoles as well as PC in mind, which means any limitations that were imposed on the structure of the game due to also being released on last gen hardware shouldn't be a concern anymore. Destiny 1 was a game that carried with it a lot of the hope and promises that come along with the new console generation. It was ultimately a disappointment for a lot of people, at least at first, but Bungie proved why they are legendary in the industry. They listened to the community and gradually made the game better with each new expansion. If Destiny 2 can continue that momentum while scrapping large sections of the problems that plagued the first game, then it may end up being the game we all wanted from the start. So, are you excited for Destiny 2, or did the original Destiny sour you on the franchise? What are some features you want or don't want to see in the new game? Let us know. We're listening. Bonus message, just a reminder, Super Bar Bros 2, our video game themed party, is just around the corner. That's May 27th. You can find additional information on our Facebook page, so just check there. I also want to bring to your attention the Local Legends Festival. It's a music festival Lag is going to be participating in. We'll have a tent, we'll have video games set up for people to come and play and hang out with us. So we'd love to see everybody there. Thanks.